Hey guys, how's it going? I'm just I'm just chilling in the ocean from Finding Nemo. It doesn't like my hair, so I think I'm gonna cancel this. But Disney and like some companies are releasing like just like kind of background images from movies or shows, and I didn't know how to do it, and then I figured it out. So here it is. If I can get any other ones that work better, then that might be fun. And I wanted one that was like space because we're talking about the space race today. I tried my hardest, but this is what we have. So there it is. Um, I cannot stop it. So I'm actually going to, let's see, I can't get rid of it. Okay, well, good thing we're only doing one slide today. That's okay. Um, all right, well, today is for April 1st, Wednesday, April 1st. And there. Is that like a little bit better? Okay. Anyway, anyway, okay, so today is for Wednesday, April 1st, and you have a bell ringer today, so you need to make a new bell ringer document for April, and you should rename it first name, last name, April Bell Ringers. Thank you very much. So answer the bell ringer question. It's not very long. Deterrence and Sputnik, why are they significant to the arms race in the Cold War? So answer that bell ringer question, and then we're only doing one slide today, and then I have posted a link for the TED Ed that I want you to watch, and it's called TED Ed. Let's see, who won the space race? It's 4 minutes. You guys know TED Eds are very short, and this one is really good, like all of them. So go ahead and watch that one as well. And I'm thinking for Thursday about like doing a kind of like a live stream on conferences because I want Thursday we were going to watch a Twilight Zone episode for the Cold War. For those of you that have no idea, Twilight Zone is like my favorite thing, and it represents the Cold War. And there's good episodes, and I want to watch them. But since we can't like watch them in class, I was thinking about doing like a live stream on Canvas conferences maybe. I may post a question or announcement or something like that to get your thoughts on that. So, because I want to watch it, and I want you guys to watch it. So, I don't know. We'll think about that. So, okay. Bell ringer question. We have one slide, and then you are watching the TED Ed video today. So make sure that you do that to check the live agenda for information. All right, let's do some recapping. Yesterday, we talked about the hydrogen bomb and how absolutely terrifying that is for the United States and for here. Is that much better? Yeah, that's better. It doesn't like this spot. Sorry. Okay. How terrifying that was for the United States and for the Soviet Union. I say it's terrifying for us because now other countries are going to look at us like a threat, and they might target us because we have this terrible weapon. So that's scary because anytime like you make advancements in anything like that, people are going to look at you and they're going to be like, okay, you're on our list now. So that's scary for us because we are seen as a threat to other countries, and it's scary for the Soviet Union because we are a threat and we can use that weapon against them if we need to. So deterrence is a way for the United States and the Soviet Union in this arms race to stop or slow down attacks, right? Or prevent attacks. You are deterring them. You're trying to prevent them from attacking. In addition to us being in a arms race, we are in a space race with the Soviet Union. And this is where we ended yesterday. So the Soviets have created Sputnik, and they are using Sputnik to, gather information from space. We're in the ocean. Sorry, but they're gathering information in space, and this is the first time we've ever done something like this. This is crazy. Like, you have an object in space that you manage to like keep in space, and you're gathering information and sending it down to people. That's wild. That's crazy. And so we don't know what they're going to do that for. We don't know if they're going to use it to harm us or to help the world, which probably not because it's the Soviets. And I ended yesterday by saying that Sputnik is the reason why we have our educational system, and it is because we were like, oh God, the Soviets are much better at math and science than we are, and we cannot have that. That is unacceptable. So we need to catch up with them, and we need to have smart children. When they grow up to be adults, they need to do something in science and math, because we cannot have the Soviets winning and beating us in this space race and arms race. So thank you, Soviets and Sputnik, because we have the schooling system that we have because of you. So the slide that we're doing today is slide number 15, or it's my slide number 15, and it is titled The U.S. Space Race. And there's some fun little, oh my gosh. Hold on. Hey, so I had to do some editing. Hopefully I can edit it properly, but we need to look at these pictures because they're good pictures. And that ocean scene, it didn't like me. So it's titled The U.S. Space Program, slide 15. This is the slide that you're doing today. And there's no vocab words. So basically what this says is that John Kennedy, who is the president at the time, JFK, he has decided that, this is not something that we're going to fail at. We're going to advance in math and science, and we're going to beat the Soviets in the space race. Sputnik kind of threw us off guard, or threw us off a little bit, right? Like, this is something that we didn't expect for them to do, and we can't do it. Like, we didn't know how to do it. So JFK was like, nope, this isn't going to happen. April 1961, the Soviet Union lost the first human into space, to orbit in around Earth, right? Like, that's their floating orbit in space. And this was not good for us. A year later, we send our first American into orbit. His name was John Glenn. So we're very much behind. We are losing the space race. We had, that advantage in the arms race. We were doing great because we had the atomic bomb, and then we had the hydrogen bomb, but we are losing the space race, and this isn't good for us. So we have realized that we need to step it up. So we have the creation of NASA and things, but the science is behind. We're just behind. Like, there's a lot of science to this, and like, you're putting things into space, and you have to get them launched off the ground. Like, that takes a lot. If any of you have seen or heard of the movie October Sky, I highly recommend it. It's a very good movie. It's about this time. It's about rockets and how we can do that stuff. It's very good. It's about a bunch of kids that discovered how to do it. So it's really good. True story. You'll see a name on there, Khrushchev. You may have recognized him from last year. Nikita Khrushchev is the leader of the Soviet Union at the time. So mainly this Cold War right now, because it's so long, we go through different leaders. It's JFK versus Nikita Khrushchev, and we're going to talk about him a lot in the next couple of slides. So Khrushchev is saying that, hey, look how great we're doing. We are so smart in science, and we sent a person in space, we sent an animal into space, we have satellites floating around gathering information. We can do this because we have communism, and the capitalist democracies over there in the United States can't keep up. This is how great we are. Communism is so great. If you changed your economic system to a communist system, then you too can send somebody to space. And so it's a propaganda tool, right? Like, he's just saying, wow, look at all the great things that we can do because we have communism. And anybody would do that, right? Like, if we got to space first, like if we put somebody in orbit first, we'd be like, wow, it's because we're a capitalist democracy and we have the money and the freedom and all of that to do what we want, and we can do these types of things. Anybody would do that. And so Khrushchev uses that to his advantage and says, wow, it's because we're communists. You'll see also on there that the embarrassment of the Bay of Pigs. The Bay of Pigs is going to be what we're going to talk about tomorrow. And so, actually, I probably will have to draw you guys a picture, but it's terrible. It's a huge loss for the United States. And so we just keep getting pushed back. We had that great start with the arms race. We had the atomic bomb, we had the hydrogen bomb. And then once the space race started, we just getting knocked down, constantly getting knocked down, constantly. And we can't keep up. It's just not good. Every decision that JFK makes seems to fail. And it's not looking good for us at this time. actually, JFK says, there's a quote, "Is there any place where we can catch them?" referring to the Soviets. So, May 1961, this is a month after the Soviets launched a person into orbit. 1 month later, JFK makes his bold proposal to Congress. This is one of his most famous speeches. He says, "This nation should commit itself to achieving the goal before this decade is out of landing a man on the moon and returning him safely to the earth." So this is when he realizes, all right, yep, I'm going to say this out loud, and we're going to put all of our efforts into getting a man to the moon and bringing him safely back. That I'm going to say it out loud. So America hears me, and so the Soviets hear what I'm saying, is that we're making this claim and we're making this goal that we're going to send somebody to the moon. And that's huge. Like, that's crazy. Of course, people have looked up at the moon and were like, wow, we should go up there. But now you have to actually figure out how to get up there, and how do you survive? There's no air. What kind of machines are going to protect you? Don't know what it's like. Do you have to wear your suit all the time? You have no idea what it's like. It's wild. Like I said yesterday, we were born in a time where somebody just went to the moon. We're born. They've gone. We can go into space. It's difficult, but people can go into space. At this time, nobody had done that. Like, it's normal for us. Yeah, can you just go up there and do what you want? Nobody did that. No, this was brand new for people, right? I have people in my life who were born in a time before people went to the moon. That's crazy. They watched the moon landing on TV, right? This is something incredible. And for JFK to make this goal for the country is huge. And so everyone's going to put their efforts into saying, all right, we need to beat the Soviets, so let's do this. 100% of the work that we do is going to be getting this person to the moon, and also stopping a nuclear war. There's a lot going on. So the pictures that we have here, this right here, that right there, if you like zoom in really closely, is a moon rock. So part of the moon that the astronauts brought down from the Apollo missions when they landed on the moon, right? So this is actually at the Armstrong Air and Space Museum in Wapakoneta. It's about an hour and a half, I think, away. It's awesome. I went there over the summer. It's very cool. There's space stuff everywhere, like just like models of spacecraft and stuff. It's awesome. So they have part from the Apollo 11 mission of landing on the moon. They brought back a piece of the rock, and so this is Neil Armstrong. He was the one that said that's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind, when he first stepped foot on the moon. So you have Buzz Aldrin and Neil Armstrong were the ones walking on the moon, and then Michael Collins was the one that was orbiting, waiting for them to finish doing what they were supposed to do, like collecting stuff and just kind of like they have their own separate missions. And so Buzz Aldrin, Neil Armstrong were on the moon, and then Michael Collins was still in the spacecraft orbiting, waiting for them to return. So Armstrong Air and Space Museum, named after Neil Armstrong. This is the Apollo 11 moon rock, and then you have his suit right there. And it says at the bottom, that's Neil Armstrong's spacesuit. It was 190 pounds on Earth, but only 32 pounds on the moon. So, that lack of gravity that we have here, 190 pounds, that suit is. The suit itself, not with the person in it. 190 pounds, like that's how thick it is. Because again, you don't know what the atmosphere, well, now we know, but you had to discover what the atmosphere was like in space. And 32 pounds on the moon. And then that's me in a spacesuit, obviously, because I'm an astronaut and I'm not scared of space at all. Terrified of space. And then this speech down here is Kennedy's "We shall go to the moon" in this decade, and then return him safely to Earth. That is a copy of his speech. That, I believe, I took at John F. Kennedy's museum in Boston when I went. So, yeah. All right. That is it. Watch the TED Ed video, answer the bell ring question, and do your summary for the slide. Okay? Bye, guys.